Hari Om. Today I'm here to talk about a huge negative energy and how to cope up with it. We are born with many negative qualities, many weaknesses. That's all okay, we are human beings. But first of all, how do we accept it? Whether we have that negative quality in us or not, and then how to change ourselves. So today I'm talking to you all about this dangerous word called disappointment. What do you think about disappointments? I'm sure you all have tasted the energy of disappointment. However, we don't like it, we don't want that to happen, yet we all have experienced and faced the energy of disappointment. And what happens? Why, first of all, why do we have this disappointment? I would like to explain to you by breaking this word and many more words that come along with this. Disappointment comes with the word appointment. The appointment that we have made with someone in some other sense, with some other, from higher realm, we have made with each other, sometimes to face success and sometimes to face failure, that agreement or that arrangement that we have made between each other, we forget. So that causes disappointment. So when we miss the appointment towards peace, joy, happiness, bliss, then it just causes disappointment. We are missing the appointment of our soul, of our inner personality, of our inner self, the true self. That has no disappointment. But the disappointment comes with our excessive desires of this body. And a lot of disappointment, when we hold on into ourselves, then we become a being who is full of unhappiness. We are dejected. So that causes a lot of disagreement. Now, what is disagreement? If you go into the word again, break it down, you will understand. Disagreement. I refuse to the agreement that I made with my soul and yours towards a certain action. So the net product between both of us, the agreement that we both made with each other, sometimes could be in harmony with what I want in this physical body, and sometimes that would not be what I really dream of. So that might cause a lot of disappointment because of disagreement. So first of all, I need to rise myself, I need to make myself understand. We all need to go beyond the physical need and the physical desires and understand that yes, we have made many agreements on the soul level, the soul consciousness. And all those agreements that we made, we like it or not, those agreements we need to honor. Then there will be no disagreement. When there is no disagreement, there is no disappointment either. And then the more disappointment we experience, then there is huge rejection in us, dejection in us. We begin to reject our own personality and we go into delusion. We go into sadness that things have not worked for me. And the more we allow the disappointments to pile up, then the entire personality over a period of time changes. That breaks the confidence of a person, makes him believe that he is a loser, makes him believe that he is not born to enjoy, he will never attain success. So this again is disagreement of you as a person, as what you have, the abilities in you and what you can. But instead of agreeing to certain plans that we made, we go into disagreement. And disappointment seeps into that level where there is huge amount of rejection. And rejection happens when there is no acceptance. Why there is no acceptance? The same reason. I refuse to accept what comes to me, what is served in a platter to me. I refuse to accept that because that is not what I wanted. So I was looking for a certain stuff to be served to me after my actions, my karma, my relationship, or whatever I'm doing in life. But if that doesn't turn out to be what I'm expecting, then my acceptance level goes down. That sets into rejection, dejection, disagreement, disappointment. And slowly, such a person makes not only his life hell, not only her life hell, but he or she makes life hell for others also. Do you think life is so petty, so small, that we live the entire life with disappointments? Each one of us has gone through this energy, faced it, experienced the bitter taste of it. Yes, it is bitter, but then what is there behind the bitterness? That is medicinal to the soul, that is medicinal to your evolution. So while we are evolving, a certain number of disappointments help the soul to evolve. That helps the personality to learn and unlearn certain things. Hence, many disappointments. But then we need to be very careful while we are handling disappointments, because there are many people, very innocent people, who cannot handle disappointments. Just because they cannot handle disappointments, they go into depression. They become very difficult persons, very difficult people. And sadly, many lose their lives. Life is much more precious than what we think. Life has got a huge meaning to this existence. Life is completely a pilgrimage, a travel, an experience. So in that experience, like a book, there will be many pages which brings in disappointment. We should rather learn from disappointment to be strong. And the more we become stronger, the lesser the power of disappointment. Now, to cope up with disappointment is to be positive, to become positive, then to be patient, then allow acceptance. The more acceptance we develop, the more patient being we become. The more patient we are, the more perseverance we develop. And that helps us blossom well. And while we experience disappointment in one area, we need to count on the other areas of life where we have benefited, where we have scored better. It's like a scorecard. So we need to see those areas where we have scored better. And keep ourselves busy, positively busy. Develop some certain positive habits. Be very creative. The more creative you are, you count on your success. The more you count on your success, you become confident. Because I've seen many beautiful beings, just because they've experienced many disappointments, they are very shattered persons, they're very shattered human beings, like a piece of glass. So vulnerable, so shattered. And what will happen to a shattered human being? What can he give in his relationship to others? Remember, we are not alone. We always live in a group consciousness. We need each other to survive and to evolve. Neither we can survive alone, nor we can evolve alone. We need each other. So such a shattered human being, such a shattered person, he just cannot nourish another relationship. He cannot nourish himself, so how can he nourish someone else? And that is so sad that life just becomes useless. So at any time, at any age, after any number of disappointments, still we have the power to spring back to life. Still we have the power to get up and shed this extra burden that we carry called disappointment in us. That was just mere experience. And we are over it, we are done with it. And like a used baggage, we are done with it and just drop it and keep moving ahead. And definitely, if you have that confidence and that courage, the next move in your life will not be bringing disappointment, because you have become very strong, you have become very courageous, you have become very positive, and you have become very confident. That helps you deal with future disappointments, because yes, in future also, there could be many disappointments waiting for us to experience. Disappointment, the energy of disappointment is actually very huge and very dangerous, and it is so demonic if you allow that to be overpowering your personality. Do not let that be a demon in your life that can completely eat you up, chew you, and throw you as a useless being. Rather, rise up, have faith in God. You believe it or not, you need to have faith somewhere. So develop that faith, bring in some discipline, develop faith in God. Everything happens for a reason. Have that faith. Everything happens for a reason. After some time, life is like a circle. So after some time, when you come back to the same point, you will realize, oh wow, that disappointment, that happened so that today I enjoy this because I'm matured now and I'm open for something new to happen. Generally, disappointment closes a person, shuts a person. That's the dangerous energy of disappointment. So we should be aware of. We should not allow any amount of disappointment, small or big or huge, or any amount of disappointment to shatter me, to break me, and to belittle me, and to squeeze me down. No. That means I am giving energy to something else and I become powerless. Never at all, at any moment, never we should feel powerless. Retain your power. Hold your power. Give birth to new you. Let the disappointments just be your learnings and nothing more than that. And actually, in reality, they're just the learning. And in most people I've seen, disappointment becomes the primary reason for them to be very sad people. Life is not worth living in sadness. Life is much more than what we know. And we need to imagine, we need to let ourselves blossom, become that big, and every day experience newness. Then we know life is beautiful, life is vast, life is so rich with several experiences. So each disappointment, each disagreement that we faced was just an experience for us to grow bigger than that failure. If you accept, then start working on that. Never allow disappointment to crush you. And these days, what is happening? The whole world seems to be in a standstill. Let's not rush and go into expectation. Let's be peaceful and allow things to happen the way it has to happen. Disappointment comes because of our desire, excessive desire. Because we desire a certain result and that doesn't happen, so that causes disappointment. So excessive desire, and especially these days, let's cut down on our desires. Let's understand what we desire for. And let us understand how privileged we are to still have everything in our lives. And look upon those underprivileged ones who do not have what we have. And if we think about them and we begin to serve them in whatever way we can serve, don't say, I don't have enough to serve. You have everything to serve. You have a huge amount of love inside your heart. You can love them, shower your affection on them. If you can't do that, well, you can bless them. You can pray for them. You can send them good wishes. So many things you can do for them. And then that is called motivation. That is called confidence. And with that, you will see your disappointments will reduce. Disappointments will still be there. But what I'm saying here is that disappointment should not drag you so big, and that disappointment should not become like a huge, monstrous, dark energy, a huge balloon in front of you, which causes immense stress to you. Rather, if you meditate, if you accept the disappointment, if you pray, if you have faith in God, if you're positive, then the light in your body becomes so beautiful and so radiant that can pierce this dark balloon of disappointment. Thereby, you become a radiant being. You become a shimmering and shining personality. And disappointment still will be there, but it will be powerless. It will be very small. So that's how the evolved ones, or the evolving ones, or intelligent, spiritually intelligent beings handle their disappointments. They also have disappointments. The only difference is that their number of hours, number of days, number of years is reduced to a little moment. So their disappointment would be only for some time, few moments. And then they'll be strong enough to walk out of the disappointments. Whereas for a normal person, the disappointment could take weeks, months, years, many lifetimes to come to overcome that. So if you want to empower the disappointment, then your disappointment is going to be too long a period. So your dejection will be too long a period. And thereby you will be a depressed person. Nobody would want you, nobody would like you. If you empower yourself, then your disappointment would just cut short and would be there only for a few moments. Your dejection would be there, you will experience, but then that will not break you, that will not shatter you. You will quickly spring back to your strength and smile and power and your confidence, and you will get back to life. And that is the person the whole world wants. That is what everyone looks forward from you. Everybody wants you to be a smart, loving, confident, and a very positive person, influencing them into positivity and happiness. You need to be the carrier of happiness, joy, and bliss. Only then you can give. If you are shattered, if you are holding enormous dark energy of disappointment in your life, you cannot give anything to anyone. So please do not be burden to yourself and burden to others. Strengthen yourself. Still time. We always have time. One moment is enough for us to get up and change ourselves, change our destiny. So I hope you will ponder on this, you will work on this, make a list of your disappointments, be positive towards it, reduce the time of disappointment that bothers you, and you will remain confident, smiling, and empowering person in your life to empower others, then your incarnation in this lifetime is purposeful and useful. Stay happy, stay safe.